Today we hear from the prophet Ezekiel, who again is referred to as a minor prophet. Again, it's a minor prophet not because of his importance, but because of the size of his book in comparison to the other prophets. It's a little bit smaller. But good old Zeke, he's a good guy. And what I love about Ezekiel is just his name. His name is very old. Of course, Ezekiel means God strengthens. And when Ezekiel was talking to these people, it took place about almost 600 years before Jesus. And the people had just returned from as he's writing to them, he was there to witness all what was going on as the people were deported. And so anyway, his book is divided into 3 sections, and we hear from the last section, which talks about the blessings on the people by God. That God will always be with you. God is always with us. He never abandoned us. And he talks about all things being made new. That's why we hear these 7 visions, and he talks about this incredible torrent of fresh water. And it comes as a real contrast, because for us, when we hear that, I guess for us in Goleta, we're kind of sensitive to that, because we think about the lake, and it's almost 49% filled now. That's wonderful. But for these people who are hearing this, what's close to them is the Dead Sea. And I don't know if any of you have been out there, or maybe perhaps the Salton Sea. But the water out there is really stagnant. It's salty, and you can even smell it. It just doesn't smell very fresh. And so as people are hearing this story of Ezekiel, they're thinking about the Dead Sea. They're thinking about this water that's just filled with all kinds of salt, and nothing can really live there. And so to imagine something like that turning into this incredible fresh water, and he measures off the distance, and the water gets higher and higher and higher. And so it's just this beautiful kind of a restoration or a conversion. And that's the lesson he's trying to get across to these people. That God is always with you, and that there's a call to change, a call to be better people. But unfortunately, the people miss that part of the message. And it's a good message for us here, 2,500 years later, to hear this message of restoration, of changing, of converting. Some people get it, most do not. And so that's a very, very, very powerful theme that comes across in our readings today. The whole thing of restoration. God makes all things new, but a lot of times people don't get it. The Pharisees certainly didn't get it today. And yeah, it's something that we have to implement into our own lives. This whole idea of change, ongoing conversion, kind of like ongoing learning. A lot of kids, a lot of students, they get their diploma, and they think, okay, well, I've achieved this and I'm done. And they don't realize that the diploma is nothing more than a license to learn. And so it goes on. You continue to learn. I would hope. And the same thing with conversions. People think, oh, I'm baptized, or I fulfilled my Sunday obligation, I fulfilled my Lenten obligations, and I'm done with it. Well, no, it's ongoing every day, not just in the Lenten season, but all the time. And so it's a very, very powerful message for us. How do you get to know God? Well, you love. You love. People always say, I want to have a better relationship with God. Well, you love as God does. You serve. You serve as God asks us to serve. You imitate Christ. And we have to remember, especially for us, in the spirit of conversion, that love and service are not nouns. Love and service, they're verbs. So love God, that's a verb. That means we're people of action. So you say, oh, I love God. It doesn't, no. You love God by loving your neighbor, by loving everything that comes your way, by enacting and manifesting the love of God, by imitating Jesus, by being a service. Otherwise, it's just a word. It's just a noun. And love and service are verbs. That's what we're called to do. Ongoing conversion. We can always be better people every day. Better people. It's never too late. I was, how do you hear the old adage? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. And the same thing. How do you become more like God? How do you establish a relationship with God? You love, and you love, and you love. You serve, and you serve, and you serve. An ongoing thing. When we see this healing going on, as I told you, Ezekiel means God strengthens us. But Jesus performs this beautiful miracle in this place called Bethesda. And we have a hospital in Maryland called Bethesda. And I don't know if anybody house of mercy. It's a house of grace. So it's another very, very, very powerful message to us. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, the house of bread. He hung out in Bethany, the house of the poor. But today, it is a wonderful miracle, a restoration of someone's, after some terrible affliction, Bethesda, house of mercy. So it is with us. We come here to be nourished by his bread. We must be a people who practice grace and mercy. And always remember that love is an active will. It's a verb, not a noun. May we be a people of great love and great service and of ongoing conversion. Let's stand up and raise our prayers and petitions.